Hey everyone, it's been absolutely ages since I've done a book unhaul, and I feel like that I have enough to do that now. I have this bag of books, and I'm going to go through them and tell you why I'm unhauling them. Okay, so my first one was a very disappointed read. I have waited. This came out in 2011 and I've only just now read it. It was really hard to grasp the storyline for me, but also there was a scene in there that I didn't like, and trigger warning, it's to do with SA, unattempted. So for me, that one scene, that one chapter really put this book off for me. But this is Across the Universe by Beth. And this is an old cover because they redone the covers as well. Yeah, so this is basically a story where I have to remember Amy is cryo frozen with her family to go to a new planet, and she's been asleep for over 100 years and has 50 years left to live awake. And the secret to this book is that the guy was the one who woke Amy up because he wanted to talk to her, not knowing that once she had awakened, she couldn't be refrozen or anything like that. So they are years behind schedule on a ship, all because the ship is slowly going really slow. And whether they'll make it or not, because this is book 1 of 3, so there's a trilogy. So yeah, I've done a in-depth review on here for it, and I've done one on Goodreads as well. That's my cat, so I don't know if you can hear him, and he's washing the baby, which is super cute. Yeah, so the cover's really pretty, hence why I really wanted it, but the story didn't really live up to me, and I'm really sorry to Beth that I couldn't give it a more positive review. But stuff with SA and stuff is where I draw the line, and as soon as I read that, even anything to do with cancer now, it's just really difficult to read about it. But if you love this book, then I'm pleased for you, but we have to admire the cover at least, because it's very spacey and very pretty, hence why I picked it up all those years ago, and it took me this whole time to get to it. So there is a DVD in here as well, and I'll just quickly say about the DVD. Trying to find a home for this. This is the Australian copy of the 100, and I do have the British copy. It does work on UK DVD players, but I bought this before it came out in the UK because I hadn't seen it on telly. I'd missed it and I really wanted to see it. But yeah, the 100 was a book as well that got turned into a TV show of 4 books, I believe. So yeah, so I have this DVD copy, but because I wanted them to all match, I then went and bought the UK edition. But I spent like £30 on Amazon for this. It was nearly £40. So I kind of regret that. But yeah, this is season 7, the final season of the 100. So I don't need 2 copies of the same DVD. So I'm trying to find this one at home, but charity shops won't take it because it doesn't have the British age sticker on it, but it does work. But yeah, so I'm getting rid of that. But yeah, I have the whole of the 100. I haven't read the books, but I have the 100 on DVD. The next book I've let go is because I did enjoy this, but it took me ages to get through this, and it took me well over a month, which means I obviously didn't love it enough. But the cover is absolutely beautiful, and this is another one from my teenager that I had sitting there all these years and I didn't read. And this is Swift by R.J. Anderson. There is another one, a follow-up, but I did read Knife, Rebel, and Arrow, I think it's called. Yeah, Knife, Arrow, Rebel. I did read them, and I did try and read Ultraviolet when I was a teenager, but that was pretty dark. But this one is basically fairies, and she's trying to find, if I remember correctly, her mum, and stuff like that, and she gets thrown out of the colony and stuff. So it's quite if you're into like fairies and fantasy, this would definitely be your type of book. Again, the cover is really, really pretty, really reflective. I don't think you can get this book. Oh, and another thing, I think these two books are out of print, so I don't think you can get them. So I'm going to try and sell them myself first before I donate them. But yeah, they weren't really my cup of tea. And before I get on to the series, I'm kind of a bit upset that I'm kind of letting this one go, but I can't see myself reading it again. And this is a Christmassy read, so I read it at the perfect time, done a review and everything for it. And this is You Better Watch Out by Sarah. I won't pronounce the last name because I don't want to butcher it. Very pretty cover, hence why I was drawn to it. And this is basically about a girl who gets a gift opposite the flats. This is based in Britain as well, so it was really easy to picture the rundown kind of big tower block flats that we have over here. And it's really weird reading a book where you can kind of like picture the scenery because you live in Britain as well, so it's a bit like, okay, but it's basically where a girl gets a gift every single day and she has to work out who could be doing this in a tower block. It was just, it was a nice to read book, nice to read for Christmas, and it was a nice themed book. But it just wasn't my cup of tea, and it dragged on for way too long, and the gifts were so odd. And on the back it says that the gifts get more dangerous, but I feel like they don't. And to be fair, I remember some of this book but not all of it. To give you an in-depth detail, if you want to watch a review, it's in the playlist of book reviews on my channel. But yeah, I'm going to be letting go of this one. But yeah, if you want like a Christmassy themed read, this is 100% Christmas themed. It's a YA kind of thriller thing, so yeah, I highly recommend it if you want to read it for that. But it just, as I say, it wasn't for me. It dragged on. For me to keep a book now, I have to be able to read it within a certain amount of time. So the fact again that I just kept being like, I don't know if I want to pick this up. If I was that eager on a book, I would be not hesitant to pick it up and I'd be able to like read it and get into it. But the fact this one took me ages as well means that I don't need to keep it, because you know, I just don't need to. And the next lot of books, so these ones have the old covers, and I believe they are out of print and they had the covers redone. This is a whole series on the vampire, I want to say Academy, but it's not. It's the House of Night series. And this is basically where the vampires become fledglings and they kind of, you know, live in this big schoolhouse and they have to like fight to save their like people and stuff. So we have Tempted by PC Cast and Christian Cast. These are the hardback old covers, so you will not be able to get these anymore. I was so lucky that I found them secondhand. And then we have Destined. And then we have Awakened. And then we have Burned. So I started this series because I picked up, well, my partner picked up these four from the charity shop for me. Here, let me get hold of them. From the charity shop for me. But then I borrowed the first, like, so many from the library. When I finished these hardbacks, I think I finished on book, like, 9. And then I was like, I'm not going to carry on because it's just getting... it's really, really long, and again, I'm not that type of person anymore where I like my books dragging on. Either do it in a couple of, you know, series, maybe 6 books are the max, but yeah, don't kind of push it after that. But I just didn't really like it. But I was very lucky to get hold of all of these matching covers as well, which you will probably never see again. And it's a shame that they redid the covers and things like that. But yeah, so I'm letting go of these, and I've read all these. Didn't do reviews on them because I just felt like I just kind of didn't. Sorry, my voice is cracking. I just kind of didn't want to do the reviews on these, and I didn't do it on Swift. As I say, for book reviews, it all depends on the types of books and whether I like them enough to warrant a review for them. And it depends if I want to put time and effort into that book. So there's quite a number of books that I will review and read, but there's books I want to reread and review from my teenagehood, like Ashes to Ashes, End of Days, Angel Fall, the Alice in the World series, that type of thing. So yeah, thank you ever so much for watching, and any support would be very much appreciated. Thank you.